I was 17 and I started modeling, and I had this interest. Hopefully in the future I can have my own channel. I just want to be able to have enough time to do it. Like fashion, I'm in the world of fashion. I think fashion and tech can have a wonderful relationship. Gender, sexual minorities. It's bad for, Trump is an expression of a rebellion.
I'm a concerned citizen of the world. I'm concerned for racial minorities, gender minorities, sexual minorities. I'm also concerned for the majority of the people, because Trump isn't really good for the majority of, even for the people that voted for him, he's not really good for them, and they will realize that soon. In Europe, there are worrying trends too. There's fascism rising in France, in the UK, in Germany. So anyone that sees this happening, it's so hard not to take action. It's hard not to be thrust into political life. It's hard not to turn your back. What's affecting other people? What's affecting the world? Where the world is heading? I do think that prejudice, is decreasing and will continue to decrease. I think that people in the Western world have undergone a huge transformation when it comes to racism from the 1950s to today. And I do think that prejudice will lessen for the trans community. And yeah, I hope to be recognized for my talents, one day as not as a trans model, but as a talented model. It's like Serena Williams. I love that quote, and she said, the best female athlete, but she crossed out the female part. The working people are going through I believe in humanity. I don't believe that that the majority of people are racist or homophobic or transphobic. I do believe that a lot of people are ignorant, and we can overcome ignorance. But I do believe in people, and I do believe we can have a better world than the one we're living in.
Really powerful. To give an example, the British government say that the amount of things that people do for free in the UK right now is bigger than GDP. So
the biggest challenge is what I'm most fascinated for both of you to kind of carry us out is, how do you get
alternatives? And the gift economy is not the answer, but we need.
I think the reason why this is such a shock to people in the tech industry, to people in London, is because we're maybe more insulated from the reality. We're more insulated from what it means to be poor, what it means to feel marginalised, what it means to feel unlistened to. And we exist in a bubble, in a way, and it's very important to burst that bubble and think about how we're complicit in creating these problems and how we can change that.
A week ago, I think, or 2 weeks ago, so I thought it would be something that...
What's happened this last year isn't a surprise to me, because when I started Impossible, and even actually years before I started Impossible, the genesis of it was that I saw problems with capitalism, and I saw problems with globalization, and I saw problems with inequality and the kind of alienation and the fallout of our systems. So I've almost been critiquing our systems for a very long time, and Impossible is my attempt to try and offer an alternative, or offer a kind of maybe a better way of doing things. It's not perfect, and it's not the only way. I think we need multiple alternatives and suggestions made, but it's trying to make a positive suggestion.
I haven't seen many talks, so it's more for me about meeting people, but of course.
I mean, technology is for me, is a tool. It's a neutral thing. It's not good, it's not bad, it's like a hammer. It has the capacity for bad, it has the capacity for good, but it's a very useful tool, and it can really shift, I think, and it has shifted our kind of cultural relationships, our political relationships, our economic relationships. And what Impossible is doing is looking at technology and saying, how can we apply it to make improvements, to try and make things better, whether it's in healthcare or economics or politics.
funcionar.